Hey, look which one I got. Look what I got.
Here, Elizabeth, go choose a pretty color that you like.
Welcome to Watch Like a Kid,
a podcast where we watch your kid shows so you don't have to.
We are your hosts, Diane and Gabrielle.
So come, be a kid with us. Hello! Welcome to Watch Like a Kid.
We are on episode 3.
Wow.
Season 3, episode 3. We're moving
I
forward.
feel like we've done so much, and yet we've only just begun. I think
No.
I forgot I had makeup on. I just rubbed my eyes and I wiped it.
Oh, I do that all the time.
It gives me a good...
It looks like, Katie Holmes, which has that sultry smudge into her eyes.
Whatever happened to Katie Holmes?
I don't know. We should look into that and give an update next step. Because I'm now curious.
Yeah.
Is she doing all right? She didn't get sucked up into that cult, did she?
I mean, she did. That's why she got out. But, I mean, maybe she just had to disappear so they couldn't find her. Or maybe they got to her.
Oof. Or maybe she's, everywhere and we've been so in a miraculous hole that we don't know the newest Katie Holmes.
We dug this hole for ourselves, though.
We did it for you.
Honestly.
We did it for you.
Definitely not for ourselves, because I tell you what, whew.
Have you had any time to yourself this week?
I have just been miraculous on the brain constantly, and then I go to work and I'm with children.
Yes, whose favorite show right now is Miraculous.
Yes, so when I get home at night, every night, I've been overcorrecting and staying up until 1 or 2 a.m. watching the X-Files.
I gotta say, never seen an episode of X-Files. Give me, if you're trying to influence me on I should watch this show, what would you say?
Oh my god. Okay, so you know how we're all shipping Adrian and Marinette or Cat Noir or Ladybug, or just somebody please get together and this is a kid show. Scully and Mulder, the two main characters in X-Files.
Why are their names Scully and Mulder?
Because they're FBI agents. They have to be weird, okay? Fox Mulder. Oh, it's phenomenal. David Duchovny does such a great job at just being this literally a mysterious FBI trench coat wearing dude that just fits the stereotype to a T. But they have such amazing chemistry.
Ooh, will they, won't they? We love will they, won't they?
First episode, and I'm literally on season 5 now.
Ooh.
And
wow, that's a slow burn.
I honestly, I'm trying not to Google, and I've heard that they do eventually get together. I don't know when or how. I'm trying really hard.
Oh, lies. You know exactly.
I might have Googled how many more seasons I have to watch. But there's, I think there was 11 seasons, something like that. So I really wanted a show that I could watch for a while.
Oh my gosh. Well, we should have Watch Without a Kid where we
oh my god,
watch the X-Files or some not child show.
Yes. You guys can just come watch X-Files with us and be oh, spooky Mulder.
Oh my god.
Love him. It's great. And it also goes amazing because it's the show started in the early 90s.
Oh.
And so you could just kind of see them grow. And it's just will they, won't they? You know they should, but you also love how there's the non-romantic partnership where they just love each other. But literally alien abductions, spooky weird things going on. It's a constant Halloween. I literally into Christmas, New Year, I'm just yeah. Let's put on some X-Files.
Amazing.
It's amazing. It's still weirdly wholesome in a way that it's nice innocent watching, because you're okay, that's not gonna happen to me in real life. It's not a crime drama. It's nothing too heavy
right,
a really deep series of anything a Succession thing. I wanted something that was still light
but still little,
but nothing to do with anything
in your life.
Children or kids. The rom-coms, they just don't make them like they used to. They just haven't been hitting.
They're not been hitting. I've been on a big holiday rom-com, Stint. And they're not even the good kind of bad anymore.
Yeah.
It's just rough.
Yeah, and I haven't found a really good newer series.
Yeah.
And I just love how this one just feels like it's an endless supply.
Yes,
There's
I
like
do like that.
there's
you,
like
You
20
don't have to worry about what you're going to watch when you get home. You know exactly you're going to sit down and you know exactly what to put on. You don't have to think about it.
There's like 26,
Ugh,
27 episodes a season.
amazing.
They just
Are they like half-hour episodes? Like
no,
45 minutes?
it's like 45 minutes.
Bet. Yes.
And I watch half a season in a day. Like
Oh,
it's been
in a night.
and a night. It's been really good. I watch like Miraculous during the day, in the morning time, kind of get myself ready, and then at night I'm like, darkness.
You're like your own version of Nick at Night.
Yes, for adults. Love it. What about you? What have you been up to? I love your nails, by the way.
Thank you.
I actually had mine literally up until yesterday painted like almost the same kind
Same
of like
color story.
Yeah, and then I got rid of it because it was looking a little ragged.
Well, I should have followed your lead because I live with 3 men, right? Live with 3 men in Brooklyn, and I painted my nails because, as you know, we're gonna be like talking about season 3, and we're gonna get into it with Luca. Is amazing. Luca has his nails painted. So I was like, oh, and we're giving Luca vibes today. We're wearing blue for those who are not watching.
I feel like every episode we kind of wear a color for the character we like that season.
So episode 1, we did the red and black. Episode 2, we did the cat noir with the green.
Yeah.
And today we're doing the Luca. We're doing the blue.
Doing Luca.
I'm excited to see what we do next episode.
I already have.
Oh, you have an idea?
Maybe an idea of who I've been vibing with, but
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you're doing
Yeah.
Luca.
So I was like, let me paint my nails for Luca. You know. And I don't have a lot of money right now. You know, I'm sure all the writers know that that's just code for unemployed. So I bought really, really cheap base coat, top coat.
Where you've got to put like 3 layers on.
Yeah.
And that just makes things worse.
And then it just peels right off. So I don't know if you've noticed, but there's not anything on my thumb.
I thought that was just like one of those like artistic statements.
No. That is, I took a shower, and then at some point when I was on the subway to come here, I noticed that this was gone.
Okay.
Part of me is terrified that there's just a thumb of nail polish in the shower, and these poor men have to look at my peeled off nail polish.
Are they scared that they're gonna think it's a real nail? Because that's kind of like
it's flesh colored.
What you have on now is
this is flesh colored.
Are they gonna think you just like took off your thumb?
I don't know what they're gonna think, but I'm sorry, man.
Did you go back? Did you?
No, I was on the train. I was on the train. There's nothing. There's no going back. I was on the train here.
No, but later on, did you? When you got home?
That was today.
It was today.
It was today.
Oh God.
Hence, it's still off. I would have painted it back by now.
Yes. What if they're having a secret meeting without you being like, this was the last straw? I'm
sure they are. Yeah, where am I going to live? So, I don't know if that's happened to anyone else, but it's also happened to me one time. I was with this guy that I really like. And I was also using cheap. This is a PSA, guys. Don't use cheap top coat, base coat. Just actually splurge on that.
We understand inflation. $9 for a tiny thing of nail polish, but just do it.
Just do it.
Because it lasts forever.
I was eating. We were having like a lunch moment. It was really going really well. And then it pops off like the whole nail polish. So it popped off, and I was like, shoot, what am I gonna do? So then I literally excuse myself. I go to the bathroom. I brought the nail polish with me.
No, Gabby.
I paint my nail again in the bathroom.
No.
And I get it on my bag and everything.
It takes like half an hour after it feels dry for it to be dry.
The way that I was eating after. Oh no. I'm telling the story wrong. I didn't even go to the bathroom.
Oh no, it gets worse.
It gets worse. I painted it under the freaking table.
No, you did not.
Oh my God, you can smell nail polish. I think I painted it under the table.
Did you? But what do you have to do to did you shake it?
Because I was so embarrassed because I think I'd just gone to the bathroom. Oh. He's talking. I uncap it under the table. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Was I in New York?
No, it was not in New York.
Oh my God, that would have been. See, honestly, if that happened when you were in New York, that would make total sense. I would just be like, you know what? That's not the weirdest thing.
Yeah. So basically,
was there a second date?
No.
We're gonna say that it was because of the nail polish.
So I think I'm triggered by what happened in the shower today. I'm assuming it happened in the shower. Now, here's the thing.
You don't know.
It could happen anywhere.
be anywhere.
Could be anywhere.
What if you get home and it's just like sitting on the counter with like a little love note or something, being like, you left this. Like they've dried it out, they've taken good care of it. They're like, because like
you
guys,
put another coat on.
because like it's like tan, flesh colored, and it came off as one piece. It could very well look like a fake nail.
Look like straight. I know.
So they might have been like, oh, because guys don't know. They could just be, oh, like fake nails are expensive. Maybe she wants to like reattach it.
I'm so embarrassed. I just need to, guys, can y'all please do us a solid? Like and subscribe. Help us to get some monetization up in here because I need to afford the actual top coat so that I can get married.
What?
And get my own apartment. Is that a leap?
That's the biggest
Is that a
spiral.
leap?
That didn't even, I'm sorry, that wasn't even a transition into like,
Listen.
go watch Like a Kid. Like, that didn't even, you didn't even ease into being like and subscribe. You're just like, I need to get married. And it's up to you.
Stakes are high, y'all. Stakes are high.
I feel like that's, I think we found our branding.
Yeah,
The-
chaos.
just a dumpster fire of a hot mess. Honestly, maybe the vibes for tonight are because season 3 of Miraculous was just chaotic
Chaos.
as well.
Well,
I have so many questions.
season 3 was so weird because it was like snooze, chaos, snooze, chaos.
Yes.
It was like Whiplash.
An episode would come and there would be like a new superhero, and I honestly was like, who are you?
Okay, you do that every time they invite a new superhero on board.
See, you're always commenting on how good I am at taking notes.
But you
It's because I forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as the episode is over, it's out.
I
It's out
forgot
of
about Nino's turtle guy ways.
I remember him now.
And you remember the Queen Bee now?
Queen Bee, I did
Girl
need
Chloe.
a refresher. Kim, the guy that likes to swim, he became some sort of superhero.
Yeah. And we have the only black guy in the show.
Matt?
I'm almost positive it's a horse. I think it's a horse.
But he looks like he just came out of the Matrix.
He looks bomb. It
like
looks so
I think
good.
the Miraculous is literally his sunglasses. I mean, there were times at this episode or this season really that was not so bad.
Well, I think the first time that like blew us out of the water, is that a phrase? Was the episode where Cat Noir had to be the Ladybug and Ladybug had to be Cat Noir.
Oh my god, it was so cute. And she had like, didn't she have like a long black braid?
Oh, she looked fantastic.
She looked amazing. And then when he did his little spots on thing, like his little dance was different, and it was so, honestly, I wanted them to swap. For good.
I know, I'm kind of into it.
She actually seemed like she exuded Cat Noir's essence more. Like she was all super confident. And like she was like, let's get this done.
Yeah. And I think too, like there was a lot of interesting moments where her hair was different in this season. And I don't know what.
You know, sometimes I got confused.
I don't know if they're playing with that or trying to do something with that. But like there's one time where her hair was down. There's a couple times where her hair was down.
One time she had her hair down. And they didn't even mention it. It didn't make any sense.
And for the parents who don't watch the show, she always wears her hair in the same like two little buns, like side buns, like that,
like little pigtails or ponytails, just in the back of her head,
kind of bunny.
Yeah, because she's got short hair.
And so that's how she wears her hair every single time. But in this season, she's been wearing it like down.
Yeah, a couple times. I think one time they did it during a really good episode.
Probably the best episode, I think.
Probably the best, most creative episode.
It was really good.
Out of all the seasons. And it was where...
It was Everything Everywhere All at Once type of episode.
Yes! Oh, that's such a good... Yes. Basically, Adrian finds out that Marinette is Ladybug.
Yes.
And it sets off this chain reaction that ends up negatively affecting the universe, essentially. Like, I think the moon was in half.
Yeah.
The Eiffel Tower and all of Paris was just underwater.
And then Hawkmoth finds out that his son is Cat Noir.
And, yeah.
And it was, like, wild. And, like, the way the episode's set up, we kind of know that it's not going to be like that. Like, they're going to go... Because it's like a time kind of.
But you're kind of wondering
episode.
how,
Yeah.
or why.
Because they basically have to go back in time and like fix this.
Yeah, because one of the
this can't happen.
superheroes,
Yeah,
who does through time, who I was like, who are you?
yeah, as you do,
As I
every
do,
time.
honestly. And as you will as well if you watch the show just in passing, like your child is just watching it. Or if you've watched the show from the beginning, I dare you to try to remember every single superhero, okay? Don't come for me. But she comes and she's like, quick, Ladybug, we need your help. And she's like, what's up, fam?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, everything's in disarray. Do you know what you did wrong? And I'm like, it happened 5 seconds ago. She should really know what she did wrong.
It's kind of, yeah. I think she knows, but she was just, of course, she does her whole her marionette thing where she's like, I'm the worst ladybug ever to exist. No. And then someone has to be like, you're the best ladybug and you'll be fine.
It's a very good Master Fu.
Thank you.
Impersonation.
I thought it was pretty good too. It's coming out. I was like, oh, that's nice.
But Adrien gets akumatized.
Yes.
While he's Cat Noir.
Or Cat Blanc.
Cat Blanc.
He's like all white.
It was a good look.
It's a good look. I mean,
good look.
And so
and he was just like, I want to put things back so we can love each other.
Yes.
Which was like very wholesome, but like he's kind of evil.
And I was a little kind of disappointed with this. I hope they don't, when like they actually get together, that this isn't how it happens, because Adrien was just so down. He was like, oh, Ladybug is marionette? Awesome. That must mean I love marionette. And which is like good logic. Yes, Adrien, but I want to see some wrestling.
I don't see any logic in that.
Well, the logic is I love Ladybug. If she's Ladybug, then I must love her.
Well, my thing is also could go the other way where it's like, oh, well, I've never liked marionette, so...
That's what I think he should do. I've never liked marionette, so what is this?
He did accept it really...
He accepted it way too quickly.
Yeah, and he also didn't try to investigate.
I'm in love with you. Also, that's another thing, Diane. I don't know how it was for you when you were in high school, but... I was always like, oh, I have a crush on Jeremy, or I have a crush. I was never like in love. Like these kids, I've never even heard them say the word crush. It's Jeremy, like they don't have crushes. They are in love.
Jeremy, I'm sorry. She liked you, but she didn't love you.
You know, it's a big emotion, dude.
Oh no, for me, I literally, every boy I liked, I loved with all my heart. I remember being in 8th grade and we'll call him Jeremy too, I guess.
It's a good name. Shout out to all the Jeremys.
It was all like the time of Illy, like ILY that you would text.
Oh, yeah.
And so he one time was like, I love you. And I was just like, oh my God, I love you too. And then like 2 weeks later,
Illy
he left me for another
I
girl.
Love you.
No, he literally said, I love you. Like,
and then
I
he
love
left
you
for another girl?
Yes. I was listening to Taylor Swift's Last Kiss.
Oh. Was it Speak Now album?
Yeah, and another song where it has his name in it.
Okay.
And I just would listen to it on repeat.
Mr. Not Jeremy.
Mr. Not Jeremy. On repeat because he was my first kiss. And I thought we were going to get married in 8th grade.
I mean, listen.
I thought he was it. He was just such a nice, he's married now. Good for him, whatever. He was such a nice, wholesome guy. Literally, in elementary school, I liked a boy, and I was in love with him.
Okay. Elementary school, I get it, because you don't know what love is. By the time you're in high school, you should know this is a crush. This is a crush.
That would have, if I had known that, it would have helped me a lot in high school, because I tell you what.
Because once you, like, get to know someone, then you can't, I'm not saying high school kids can't be in love. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it should start off as a crush. Right? And then you progressively become someone who's in love. But they're not even together.
No, that's way too mature for 15. No, I'm sorry, honey. It's for me,
honestly, for me, I don't think it was maturity. I think it was just the understanding that, like, I could not have a high school romance. Like, that was not for me.
No, if a boy who was literally just flirting with me, who I knew didn't even really like me, if he came up and was like, I love you, I was like, I love you too.
Oh my God, what's that Taylor Swift lyric? Because when you're 15 and somebody tells you love you, you're going to believe them.
Honestly, it's
wow.
Completely true.
Okay, well, these kids are in love. So here's the thing, too. We have some really healthy forward people. And
we forgot how healthy they are.
Yeah, so Luca and Kagami are, if y'all remember from the 2nd season episode, where we talk about how Kagami is interested in Adrien and Luca is interested in Marinette. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because both of them, both Marinette and Adrian, will not get together with these people who are obviously interested in them because they're pining after each other, but they don't know it.
Yes.
And so it's very sticky. But I think that they're actually, this show, especially for a kids show, is doing the love triangle really well.
Really well.
Because a lot of times the reason why love triangles fail, I think, is because they're like, they make let's think of Gilmore Girls for a second. Okay. So we have the love triangle with Rory, Dean, and Jess. Do you see what she said? Did you hear? Did you either see or
I just
hear?
threw up a little.
When I mentioned Dean, right? Because that's everyone's reaction.
I threw up a little.
Because what they did with this love triangle is once Jess came to the picture, because when Dean first showed up, he was actually kind of cool. He was like from Chicago. He had that leather jacket.
He was supposed to be a cool guy.
He was supposed to be a cool dude. And then now all of a sudden he's like this weird,
he was like this
lame
little puppy dog.
Yeah, what is this?
Obsessed with Rory.
It was very strange.
And Jess was just like,
yeah,
too cool. Too much.
So what happened is, to make this love triangle, basically they made Dean look worse.
Yeah.
So you would want her to be with Jess.
Yeah.
But a good love triangle, you're kind of like, I don't know who she should be with. That's a good love triangle.
And they're doing this in a kid's show.
In a kid's show. I'm like down for Luca or Adrian. I'm down for either one.
I'm sorry. I know we're at differences with this, but I kind of, based on what happens in season 3, I think that they, at least right now, should totally be with their separate respective parties. Like,
I think they should have a season.
Marinette should be with Luca.
I think they should have a season, but I think Adrian and Marinette should be in the game.
Obviously, or it wouldn't work, like the series.
Right.
It would.
But I would be happy with the detour, because so Luca, our emo king, he plays the guitar for her. He finally figures out like the perfect melody that embodies Marinette.
We will get into it more, but there isn't pretty much the season finale, other than the random horrible Christmas episode at the end. There's a part where Kagami sacrifices herself to save Adrian, and Luca does the same for Marinette. Yes. And that is what made me be like, these two people are not just weird side characters who just like have a fling, like Chloe having a fling for Adrian. Like, they actually do like them. But you're right, I do really like how in this season, like, Kagami and Marinette are actually friends now.
Yeah.
And they like respect each other, and Marinette's like, I don't want to hurt Kagami. Oh, I think
Marinette's really letting Kagami and Adrian be together. And that's, I think, very big
growth.
For her. Very big for her.
But the thing with Luca that I love so much is he can see, he can tell. At one point she was like freaking out, and he was like, it's over Adrian, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you need and he helps her.
He's very,
because he's like, if that's who you want to be with right now, that's fine. I'll be here. I'll wait.
He doesn't push anything. I mean,
Kagami
pushes more.
Pushes a bit. She's like, hey, don't string me along.
Yeah.
She literally told him that
she
one episode.
said like something like, your hesitancy hurts or something.
Yeah.
Because he was like, she was about to kiss him, and he was like, oh, this is going to be my first kiss. And I don't think he wasn't expecting it to be. He didn't say, I wasn't expecting it to be with you, but that's what he meant.
That's what he meant.
That's what he meant.
That's what he meant.
And that hurt her feelings, clearly.
Yeah.
But she said that to him. She's very communicative. And that's the thing I like about both Luca and Kagami, is they're very communicative. Unlike Adrian and Marinette, Adrian's more communicative than Marinette. But I feel like, they're not as communicative with each other.
That's why
what they want.
Well, maybe these second characters, if they do have time where they're apart and they get together with Kagami and Luca respectively, maybe that will help them grow and mature, so then they can later on communicate with each other better.
Maybe, yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying this about a children's show, because that just sounds
it runs deep, dude.
It really does.
It's really,
some episodes you're just like sleeping, and then
others
it wakes you up and you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Really learn. But Luca, I think, does give unrealistic expectations for boys, because we were talking about how all these kids are so mature. It's such a good, like, how Adrian is such a good role model and good person to watch, and for like young kids to want to be like and want to see what someone healthy is. Luca is just like too perfect, too good, too amazing,
too good
for a teenage boy. I'm sorry, I have never even met grown men that act like him.
No, I mean, okay, let's go back to Adrian for a second and talk about how he reacted in the Wax Museum episode, because boys would never. No offense, boys. Y'all would never.
So what happens is they're in a wax museum, basically. Adrian pretends to be a statue, and Marinette is trying to convince herself to tell him that she loves him. So she thinks she sees this wax statue, and so she kind of like plays pretend, like
I love
rehearsing on him, and she's like
you.
super close to him, and he's just not
She's like
reacting.
about to kiss him,
and she's literally being like, "Your scent, your smell, your body,
she's
you're amazing."
over the
like,
top.
and
Very
he just
embarrassing.
like acts like it didn't happen. He's just like,
well,
you
he
know,
like finally like he's like, whoa, like, you know, before he kisses her, before she kisses him, she's like, well, he's like, wow, pronouns are hard today.
words are hard.
Before she kisses him, he's like, whoa. So she doesn't actually kiss him, and then
Yeah.
she's like, or then he, instead of, because he sees that she's embarrassed. And I feel like when I was in high school, most boys would have like really made fun of me for that.
Oh my
like
God, yeah.
how I reacted, especially if you had seen how she reacted. It was, you don't come back from that.
You don't.
But he was so nice.
Good about it.
And he made it his fault. He's like, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have pranked you like that. I thought it would be funny. I didn't realize, or whatever. And like, and then just let it go. He didn't push her like, oh, you're like me, or do
They
you really
just
think
moved on.
They moved on. And I feel like that was really mature of Adrian to not like make her feel like embarrassed about something that she definitely should feel embarrassed about.
Yeah, because honestly, at this point, I feel like he should
Surely he knows.
kind of, yeah, know that she
probably
has something.
If he doesn't, then that is Adrian's fault. He's a little daft.
Let's talk likes and dislikes.
Okay.
Of the season, because like you said, parts of it were super captivating, and other parts you just kind of like slept on.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking one villain is enough when it comes to the high school
drama.
Like, Chloe's enough. She's loud enough. She's obnoxious enough. Who is this girl that I can't even... What's her name?
Lila.
With the hair and the...
I feel like they don't know what to do with her, because if you remember, we mentioned her at the end of season 1, where we were like, is this a new superhero?
Right.
Or a new supervillain? She's working with Hawkmoth in season 2, kind of. And so this season as well, she's just kind of like, we're like, who are you?
Yeah, she like lies about having disabilities, which is kind of...
She's a
ridiculous.
pathological liar, and not just in school, like in everyday life, every little thing.
She even pisses Adrian off, which is hard to do.
I feel like it, yeah. To where he's like, I can't trust you anymore.
Yeah, he's like,
so she starts. The thing is, she doesn't even really work with Hawkmoth. She's working with Adrian's dad to like stay away from Marinette, or to like watch her son, and it's.
And then I don't know if this was a plot hole, or if they just like, or if I misread it or whatever. But at the end of an episode, Marinette was watching the news, and it said something about like she was with Adrian, like Adrian's new muse, and they're like together, but they were never together.
But I don't know why the dad is so invested, and why he wants her. Like, he could just re-akumatize her whenever.
Yeah.
But because she's like the only one that's like, ooh, an akumatized butterfly, get me. Like, she's actually wants to.
She's a lot, guys.
But then she just comes and goes.
Yeah.
Like, she
doesn't seem like a really recurring person.
No. And at the same time, she's like, oh, hi guys, everyone. And everyone like really sees through it really quickly.
Yeah, the kids are really down to be friends with even Chloe. Yeah. But when it comes to her, they're all kind of like, they do kind of ice her out. They're like, I can't deal with this girl.
Yeah, and even at times like Chloe and I'm like, just team up with Marinette and get rid of this girl. Because like, I think it's just too much. We had Kagami who wants Adrian, now Lila wants Adrian. And Chloe and Marinette, and I'm like, guys, this is just she's. I don't know. I feel like they could do her character better if they were to introduce a new character. And she's just a lot. In other aspects, they had some random plot holes, or where they give us information that could be really juicy, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this episode, and then they never mention it again. So literally, I think it's like episode 3 or so, Marinette finds out she has a grandfather.
Yeah.
Whom she's never met and never heard of.
She's wild.
Like, he literally lives, like, down the street.
Yeah.
And she actually goes to his place and, like, makes bread with him, because he's also a baker, like her dad. But the dad never gives her any context of background or anything.
No.
The grandpa gets akumatized. And then the episode ends where he comes to the dad's birthday. And it just ends with the dad, like, smiling. And I'm like, I feel like there's some stuff to kind of unpack or go over, or, like, a speech or...
Yeah. I kind of felt like they keep inserting family members and then not talking about them anymore. So we also had a weird, like, run-in with Adrian's cousin and aunt.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. He has an evil cousin
Who looks just
Felix,
like him.
right?
Yeah, I think it's Felix.
And they were coming because it was the 1-year anniversary of his mother's death. I'm going to say it every episode how much it does not make sense to me that his mom has only been dead for supposedly 1 year.
Grief is a lot.
But he's got some childhood trauma.
Yeah, because his dad is freaking Gabriel aggressed.
Yes, but if his mom was this light of life.
Yeah, and now she's gone. That's traumatic.
Yes, but it makes you seem like he had never gone to school before.
Maybe he hadn't. Because Gabriel probably ran the household, even though she was like a nurturing presence. She probably didn't get to make that many decisions.
True, but we have speculated that Gabriel wasn't always a bad guy.
Yeah, it is tough to see. It's tough because he has his nurturing moments, but I thought it was super awkward that they decided to come over on that particular day because his aunt / Gabriel's dead wife's sister looks just freaking like the dead wife. Just like her.
And Adrian actually thought that it was his mom at first, and I felt so sad about that, but I was also like,
it was a lot.
It's your aunt, Yeah.
But
she comes because she wants Gabriel's wedding rings. And I thought that was kind of rude.
Yeah. They're like, that belongs in our family. And he's like, we can talk about that later.
Yeah, but so Felix pretends to be Adrian. Changes into his clothes, sends a message to all of the friends being like, I hate you guys, you're mean and stuff. And they're such good friends, because there's only 10 classmates, right?
Yeah.
And so they're all like, that's no way that's Adrian. He's a nice guy. Let's band together and figure out what's going on.
Right. Because
that's cute.
They trust their friends so much to not be a-holes, but I would be like, wow, my friend is really grieving today because he's being really mean.
Yeah, and at the end of the episode, Gabriel's just like, I'm so sorry that they came here, Adrian. Your cousin is just an idiot.
And then we never see them again.
And we never hear from them, seen from them, nothing. I do really like, though, Hawkmoth's story, little by little, is getting better and better. So with the mom and everything, we learned that she possessed the Peacock Miraculous, which is what his assistant Natalie uses. And the Peacock Miraculous is broken. Right. We don't really know how, but it's just it's not working perfectly. So whenever anybody wears it, it takes away their health as the person. Right. So we find out that is why the mom, I can't even say died, because Gabriel literally has her body.
He wants to resurrect her.
He wants to. Yes, we finally realize that. Oh, that's what he wants.
Yeah, it's a big moment.
But they really kind of just brush over that moment
again. Yes, it's like whiplash.
He has her in this big greenhouse looking thing, and then she's in this see-through clear case that makes her look like Snow White.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, we'll be reunited eventually. And I think at one point, Natalie literally walks in and is like, we'll help her get there.
Natalie's a simp for Hawkmoth, guys.
But it doesn't make sense. I can see it, but at the same time, she is truly 100% trying to help him get his wife back.
Even though she truly 100% wants to kiss him all the time.
And I think he low-key wants to kiss her.
They had a moment where I thought they were going to.
Yes, and even in... wow, a lot actually happened in the episode with his cousin. Because at the end, he's like, oh, I see that you want to tell me something. Because the dad, I think, was going to tell him about the bomb. And he's like... And Adrian goes, oh, well, yeah, I see that you really like Natalie. And it's okay. And that... Dad was like, no, how dare you?
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's so much.
It's so sticky, guys.
It's so much. And so now, since Natalie has been using the Peacock Miraculous, she is starting to get sick. And Hawkmoth / Gabriel really cares.
Yeah. And if you forgot who Natalie is their assistant person. They run errands. She runs errands for them.
Runs the household.
Yeah.
Is willingly evil, even though she really doesn't feel evil to me.
Yeah,
she doesn't give evil vibes.
She drives Adrian around and kind of is stern, but
yeah. But there's one point where she's Natalie, she's as Peacock, and she kind of uses her superpowers, and then she falls, because she's so exhausted. And Hawkmoth literally scoops her up mid-battle because he actually shows up this season. He shows up to actually battle Ladybug and Cat Noir in person for like what feels like the first time. But halfway through, he scoops her up and he's like, I'll be back or I'll catch you later, kids, you know? And because he wants to save her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's so nice of you.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of
But just maybe he wants to save her for selfish reasons because he needs her.
No, because he tells her to stop wearing it.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I want to help you. And he's like, well, okay then. I really like the episode where Marinette's dad gets akumatized because he thinks that Cat Noir likes Marinette.
Right.
And he wants his daughter to find love at 15 so badly.
Yes.
And when Cat Noir is mature and nice and admits it, saying, hey, no, I actually have feelings for someone else, you got the wrong idea.
Yeah, which he doesn't. He just doesn't know it.
He just doesn't know it. Like, the dad gets akumatized because he's sad that his daughter's
heartbroken. But she's not even heartbroken.
She's not even heartbroken.
She faked that she was with Cat Noir to get out of... What was she trying to get out of? Him finding out that she was Ladybug in some way.
Yeah.
And so she just pretended to be, like, in love.
Speaking of Hawkmoth, Peacock / Natalie, the 25th episode, which we're not even gonna... The Christmas episodes don't exist.
They're not canon.
Technically, that was the last... Yeah, technically, that was the last episode, but the episode 25, the one before that, to me, is the season finale because so much happens.
So much happens.
So much happens.
Where do we even begin?
Oh, man. I don't even know. So, Chloe, we finally get our girl.
Mm-hmm. The villain she deserves to be.
Yes.
She's getting the villain out of now.
She, every episode, every time they need someone to be a superhero, Marinette / Ladybug doesn't pick her.
Right.
And for good reason. She's like, hey, Hawkmoth knows your identity. I can't bring this to you because he's going to try to steal your Miraculous. So what happens? Exactly that. She's like, Ladybug, come pick me. And she won't. And so Hawkmoth is like able to steal all of the Miraculouses.
Yeah.
Because he finds Master Fu because Ladybug just had a little whoopsie. And Hawkmoth was able to track her down. And she was with Master Fu. And so he steals the whole box.
Yeah.
With all of the Miraculouses. So he gives Chloe her Miraculous and she becomes Queen Bee.
But then
evil.
because he's like, I can give you even more power. And so he actually gives her the opportunity to like make an army with all the Kwamis now that he has.
Yeah.
And so the bees actually pick, because the bees like sting them and then they become part of her army. Yeah,
she makes these like killer bees and they sting everyone in Paris, not just the superheroes, which is when we were saying how Kagami and Luca sacrifice themselves so Adrian and Marinette don't get stung by bees.
Yes.
And they transform and they go underwater because the bees can't get to them, and that's where they hash out their plan.
Right.
But
then, in the meantime, Luca and Kagami are now bee akumatized, I guess.
They're like, I think it's kind of like they're like mind controlled. Like they turn into these robots. And so Chloe takes all the Miraculouses and she calls them. She says, if you're a Miraculous holder, come to me now. And that's when the individual teenage superheroes go to her.
And then she is very underwhelmed with their appearance. She goes, you
so
chose
funny.
The weirdest, like, what did you choose? This is ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous.
I love when she says utterly ridiculous.
She's just really upset about the 5 kids that show up to be part of her army. She's not happy about it.
Which is so realistic because we've been talking like, why are they all teenagers?
Why are they teenagers? Listen, I know you had a lot of sympathy for Mr. Fu, but I personally am like, bro, why do you keep choosing teens, man?
Well, I mean, like, it is a kid's show. Like, gotta choose kids. But, like, I still don't understand why they have to have them be sidekick superheroes. Let's just have the 2 and be done. I can't remember them.
Okay, there's the black kid who I'm sure is a horse. There was Nino, who's a turtle.
Nino, turtle.
There was, I always forget her name, the 30-year-old.
Milan?
Her bestie?
The one with, like, the dreads?
No.
Oh, they're all 30 in my mind. They all look
The
so
main, the OG 30.
Oh, Alia.
Alia is like a fox.
Oh, yeah. And then
there's Kim.
Kim, he was
Mr. Kim.
he was something.
He's something. Is that all of there? Oh, and then Luca.
I just can't
who
keep
is
track
the
of all.
snake.
I can't keep track of all their superpowers.
And then
everything.
Kagami. Is she a dragon?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway,
wow, good job.
Thank you. Basically, now they're all fighting against, Ladybug and Cat Noir.
Yes, they have like souped up evil superpowers. Like it goes beyond being just like akumatized.
Yeah,
and so Ladybug and Cat Noir have to fight them, but it kind of happens a little too easily to me. Like they're kind of able to figure out a little too easily how everything happens and how to like get everything. And they even combine their Miraculouses together.
Yeah.
And what I like is that when they combine two Miraculouses, they get a new nickname.
Yeah, I do like that.
I do like that.
Yeah.
It makes it even harder to keep track of.
It does.
But I do, and they change the costume. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I think that is really cute. Meanwhile, though, Hawkmoth and Peacock have Master Fu, and he is also transformed, but he's getting too old, and he has this shield that they're trying to break open, and he can't hold it for very long, and so he makes a sacrifice.
Basically he gives the box of all the Miraculouses, because he was the holder of the box. He gives that box to Ladybug, which is really a choice, because Ladybug is kind of the reason why they're in this mess.
I feel like she would lose the box. Basically, he relinquishes himself as master,
which means he also won't remember them at all.
He does not. Yeah,
it's just because that helps. Once the power of being the master is transferred to someone else, you don't remember, just to keep everyone's identities a secret. So it's a big sacrifice,
which is a really good detail.
Yes, very good detail. So big sacrifice, and it was kind of sad because then Mr. Fu now doesn't really know who Cat Noir or Ladybug are.
Yeah, and it makes it so she's able to get all of the Miraculous back. The box that it's kept in actually changes shape and transforms.
It's like a Ladybug thing now.
And in doing so, it makes it so Chloe, aka Queen Bee, has no control over the Miraculouses anymore, which is how her friends turn back from being like evil superhero villain types. And it ends kind of on a bittersweet note. I mean, they take Master Fu, and he's like, I'm sure you're very nice kids, And he goes off with, like, the love of his life that they cover in a different episode.
Yeah, but he doesn't remember her either. But
it is really sad.
But, like, he says that he still feels this really big connection with her, so I think they'll still have a happy life.
And it was cute because she's, like, doing this kind of, like, written journal voiceover type thing, and it's what the note he left for her in this locker so he could pass down, and like she becomes
Mr. Fu.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that might I don't see how that would work out very well as her being like the main superhero and the holder of all of the Miraculouses. So with the Miraculous box, there's also like this like manual handbook thing,
right?
That Master Fu was able to get his hands on because Adrian stole it from his dad.
Right.
And he was able to decipher it.
Right.
So, although Hawkmoth lost the Miraculous box, he now has possession of the original book.
Which could help him get possession then of the box.
Because I think it goes into depth of like the history, different Miraculous that might like not even exist within the box.
Maybe
right
like
now.
the weaknesses of all of the Miraculouses and stuff.
I think it was like what they all do and everything. Because it's gotta be helpful in some ways because he's able to repair the Peacock Miraculous back
because
to
of it.
Oh yeah. And I know that Natalie is still weak and sick, but they're at least able to fix the Peacock.
Yes.
So I guess maybe once she's back to full health, maybe she'll be able to help him fully again and like be good, and he won't be wondering if he should get with his assistant. I'm sorry, I want it to happen.
Why are
I
you
think that'd
shipping
be-
the villains right now?
I think it would be good healing for him,
You know, I am down for like one of those arcs where the villain becomes the good guy. Like he like figures it out, and then you can fall in love with Natalie, and they can have a beautiful little life somewhere. And then Cat Noir and Ladybug can actually say who they are because they're not worried about Hawkmoth anymore. And then they fall in love and have a beautiful life somewhere, and they get the hamster that she really, really wants.
This is like you back with your nail polish to find a husband, liking our podcast, watch like a kid at Gmail, Instagram, everywhere. Look at it. See,
That
now,
name was not taken by anyone, y'all.
See, now that is how you do a seamless plug.
Listen.
Before you were spiraling a bit.
Listen, I'm nothing if not a spiral girly.
I feel like Hawkmoth needs to kind of spiral a bit next season. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like every episode he's just like, rotten kids. Yeah, like kind of like
Yeah, when
Scooby
does
Doo.
he, like cry? Like when does he actually break?
I want him to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna go mess them up myself.
I'm really ready for him to mess them up.
Especially because
this is his dead wife we're talking about.
And because Peacock's power is to be able to give him souped up powers. So you think it'd be
he
like
should literally be so embarrassed that he cannot get past teenagers.
Honestly. Oh, and at the end with Adrian and Marinette, when they at the very end when they're all like getting ice cream.
Okay, listen. This is the big growth moment that we hinted at earlier with Marinette. So if you don't know, if we haven't said it yet in one of our episodes, there's this ice cream guy in the world, in this miraculous universe, where if you eat the same flavors that he gives you, then you like pair up in love or something.
And he too has been akumatized.
Oh yeah, that was actually
a good funny episode.
But yes, so that's like the thing. Some people believe in it, some people don't, but that's the whole myth, right? Or the lore or whatever it's called. And so there was a scene where he was like, oh, we can do these two flavors for Marinette and Adrian, or we can do these two flavors for Adrian and Kagami, or we can do these two flavors for Kagami and Marinette.
Mm-hmm.
And Adrian, knowing nothing, is like, why don't you choose Marinette?
Oh, yeah.
And Marinette, of course, is freaking out because now she has to decide, like, oh, is she going to be selfish and pick the flavors where her and Adrian are going to fall in love? Is she going to be selfless and pick the flavors where Kagami and Adrian fall in love? Personally, I think she should have just picked her and Kagami.
I know. I'm
Like,
I'm
solve
so
every
glad that
problem.
the ice cream man was like, or do the two ladies want to split a cup?
I don't know why she didn't even
Cup or
do that.
cone, you know, like
Yeah.
yes.
I would have done that. I'd be like, sorry, Adrian, girls' night now.
I just want to scoop for myself. Because I think Marinette needs to just love herself a little more.
Yeah. Anyway, she chooses Adrian and Kagami. So then Adrian and Kagami I think they're at the Seine River or something.
Yeah.
And
Casual.
they're having like a cute little ice cream moment.
All the friends are meeting up because they don't remember what they've done.
Right. And Marinette sees them have a moment. I think they kiss, but I'm not quite sure.
I think she like kisses him like on the nose or like
Something.
the cheek or something.
And she kind of
And he just smiles, being like, oh.
Yeah, because Adrian, he's a soft boy. Adrian wants to be loved so bad.
He just needs love.
He
and
needs something to
affection.
fill that hole in his heart from his dead mother, I guess. He really wants love. So basically, she sits down next to Luca. She like takes a moment, she has a breath, and then she goes and sits down next to Luca.
Who was just patiently waiting
Very
for her.
patiently.
And that whole episode, he was helping her. One time, she was like so overwhelmed that like he literally pulled her into him and she just cried.
She was
on
like, I'm
his
so tired
shoulder.
of all these responsibilities.
And he's like, you can handle it, babe.
Yeah.
He like rode his bicycle with her on it to like save her to get her somewhere. And so earlier in the episode, he was like, hey, I made a melody that sounds like you.
Mm-hmm.
And then
he's like, it still needs work.
Yeah. And that, which is kind of like a metaphor for like them, it felt like, because he was like, I don't think you're ready to hear it yet. She's like, play it for me. He's like, are you ready for that?
Ooh.
And so at the end of the episode, she sits with him. And it's so cute because Adrian and Marinette are on opposite sides.
Mm-hmm.
And all their friends are in the middle and stuff. And so she sits down. So it's just her and Luca focusing. Yeah. And she goes, hey, I'm ready to hear that melody now. Is it done? And he just goes, absolutely.
It's really well done.
Like so cute.
Really well done.
Really well done. And they just...
And they pan out.
I
think, and it's like, wow. So I think maybe in season 4, we might actually get some Luca, Marinette, Kagami, Adrian sort of relationship dynamics. I think we might see that.
I think it wouldn't be nice because I really hope they don't do the same as this season where Kagami is like, I'm okay with you, but also like I don't like that you're leading me on, or where Luke is just like, I'll wait for you like a puppy dog.
Yeah.
Because eventually those characters should get tired. They should be like, guys.
And honestly, they should get tired with each other because I think Kagami and Luca would be really cute together.
No.
I like it.
No.
I like it.
No. And we've got a while, guys. They've got some. They already have so many
all
seasons
the episodes.
planned.
If you're like a fan and for some reason and not a parent watching us,
Yes.
or if you're a fan parent,
your kid hates Miraculous, but you're like, you're gonna watch it.
It might be funny listening to our predictions because y'all will know.
You're just like, oh, just wait.
I'm really excited actually. When season ended this time around, I was a little disappointed. Honestly, I was like, dang, I kind of want to keep going, but I knew if I started season 4. I would forget which is season 3 and which is season 4, and I didn't cheat.
Yeah, because last time we cheated a little bit, we did kind of veer into season 2.
And it messed us up.
It kind of messed us up a bit. We were like, wait, what happens? But I think we've decided. So there's movies too. We've discussed and
the fans have told us the order in which we should watch it is after the 3rd season. We need to watch 2 of the 3 movies, 2 of the 3 TV type movies, yes. Not the big Netflix movie. That's separate.
So, and that's our big finale. Please join us.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be a good time. So yeah, we're excited to watch the movies. So yes. New York, and the next one is Shanghai.
Yes. So basically, from what I've noticed, because we haven't watched them yet, but they're kind of like one-off movies that don't go into like the main story too much.
Right.
But it's kind of like a Marvel universe kind of thing. Like the Avengers get together.
And according to the fans, we should watch New York first, then Shanghai, but then we don't watch Paris apparently until after season 5.
There's a 3rd one, and it's where they're in Paris, and I'm confused because the series takes place in Paris. So
right.
Why? That's why I think it's kind of like an Avengers meetup, where there's different superheroes that just like...
Which is your favorite thing. You love it.
I love all this. I can't wait, but it takes place in New York, so we'll
see all the sides. I doubt they'll go to Bushwick, but it's okay.
Yeah, what superhero would be there? Some like hipster, like coffee barista, like somebody gets akumatized because they had to pay $12 for a latte. Seriously though, thank you guys so much for watching this or listening to this. What feels very chaotic. I don't know. I feel like we got that all put together. We really
think we did really well.
There was a lot more that happened in season 3 than I realized.
It was a sleeper season, but I think the 3 episodes that were packed
packed out. Yeah. I feel like we covered so much.
Yes.
I'm really excited for season 4 though to see how Marinette manages being a miraculous holder. Like, where is she even going to hide that thing?
Yeah, I don't know. She can't even hide the fact that because she's no offense, Marinette, you're stupid. Because she can't even figure out that you shouldn't put pictures of Adrian on your wall in their bedroom.
Yeah.
And so there's been like 4 times where people have seen it and said something. And I'm like...
Where Adrian has been in her room.
Adrian has literally been in her room.
And he's just like, I'm glad you like...
It must be because you're a fashion designer.
Yeah.
And I'm a model.
I'm a 15-year-old world-famous model.
At this point, I can't tell if Adrian is also stupid or if Adrian is trying to be nice and not embarrass Marinette. Because...
I think that's kid movie magic.
That's kid math.
That's kid math.
Because this is not adding up to me.
Kid math is if you put on a mask, even if you have the same voice and same haircut, you can't possibly be the girl that you sit with at school every day.
Kid math.
Tell us what your kid math is.
Oh my goodness, that would be hilarious.
Not what your kid's math homework is, because we won't understand past a 3rd grade math level. But tell us anything that your kid, your sibling, yourself have done that's kind of been a weird little kid math, a little suspended magic. Yes. I want to know.
Like, the logic is not logicking. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're making up words today.
Listen.
Logicking.
It sounded like it was going to come out better than it did.
Yeah, like goodest, you said earlier. And it just
I said it like 3 times.
It kind of made my eye twitch. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm writing a book, guys.
But I didn't want to interrupt. Yeah, that's what in my mind. I didn't want to interrupt you though because you're our literary expert. And I guess that's that one.
That's that.
Season 3 of Miraculous.
We'll see you for the movies.
Episode 3, yeah.
See you for season 4.
Yeah. Season 5 and
And
until
the big
season
nephew?
56 when they
Which,
still
oh
haven't.
my goodness, because they're already slotted out for I think 8 seasons. Like
oh my gosh.
2026.
And they
they've already
still
have
probably
planned.
won't be together. That's going to be worse than X-Files where they never get together. I can't for a kid's show because they don't age. They could continue this forever.
Oh my gosh, what if there's like they do age and now we get like a college version? That would be
I am here for it.
I'm here for that.
We have to copyright that before they steal our idea. Will the French listen to this podcast?
You can't copyright ideas, I've already checked.
Oh.
It's really unfortunate.
Well, if you're in France and you know the people at Zagtoon and you know the guy who does the literary Bible, don't tell them. That's our secret.
But do tell them to email us because we want them on our
We've got
podcast.
ideas. And that's it.
All right, well, till next time.
Bye-bye, little butterflies.
That's not a unicorn. That's just a pony with pink hair.